Hello everyone and welcome to Meet the Scientist. I am Daniela Moles from VELP Marketing Department and I'm very happy to have as our guest Dr. Maria Di Cairano from the University of Basilicata here in Italy, who will share interesting studies and findings on fat oxidation stability with the use of the VELP Oxitest applied to various food samples. But first of all, let me introduce you to the VELP Oxitest. It's here with me, the VELP Oxitest. It's the innovative analytical instrument for the investigation of fat oxidation stability. The Oxitest method is a validated standard procedure by the IOCS in 2017 after a long process of validation in which many companies and laboratories took part. How does the Oxitest work? The Oxitest speeds up the oxidation process, which in normal conditions can last weeks or even months, thanks to two accelerating factors, which are high constant temperature and oxygen pressure. Basically, the instrument consists of two highly resistant titanium heating chambers, which during the analysis are at constant temperature. Furthermore, the instrument is supplied with spacers and dedicated sample holders. Depending on the percentage of fat content of the sample that we want to analyze, we can choose the correct mix of spacers and sample holders to insert in our independent titanium heating chambers. Here, for example, I have a sample with a high level of fat. It's grinded and perfectly homogenized, and I can simply place it with two spacers inside the titanium heating chamber. Then I place the closing. I start securing it, and I complete the process. The Oxitest measures the absolute pressure change of oxygen inside the two independent titanium heating chambers, generating automatically an IP value. What's the IP? The induction period, meaning the time required by the sample to reach the starting point of oxidation. And the IP, as I was mentioning, is generated automatically because the Oxitest is powered by the Oxysoft software, which allows to generate IPs for further analysis, so many different IPs for several applications. And of course, it allows you to set all the parameters to start the analysis and monitor it in real time. What's unique about the Oxitest regarding connectivity? Not only the Oxysoft software, but also the connection to the VELP Hermes cloud platform, an innovative solution that allows you to monitor data, the instrument working conditions, anywhere, anytime, from any device, PC, tablet, or smartphone, and it also allows you to benefit from exclusive service support from our technicians here in Italy or from our network of partners worldwide. What about applications? The Oxitest is perfect to investigate the behavior of fat oxidation stability for many different types of applications, such as freshness tests on raw materials, as well as formulas comparisons for product development or packaging comparisons, up to IP during aging in order to evaluate and estimate the period, the storage period of your product, and then we can also estimate the shelf life of a product. The Oxy test is particularly appreciated by R&D and quality control labs in several different industries, such as food and feed, beverage, but also cosmetic, chemical, pharmaceutical, petrochemical. Because what's unique about the Oxy test? The Oxy test works on the whole sample without extensive and preliminary fat separation, guaranteeing reproducible and representative results. And the only requirement is that the sample is rich in fats. It contains a high level of fat, be it food, feed, or a cream, for example. And of course, now we were going to have as a host Dr. Maria Di Cairano from the academia world, who will share her findings and many researches, in this case, on various food samples, supporting local food manufacturers and producers. So thank you, Maria, for being here with us virtually today, and I leave the floor to you.
Hello everyone, I come from School of Agricultural, Forest, Food and Environmental Sciences of Università degli Studi della Basilicata, located in Potenza, Italy. Our school deals with research and teaching activity in the field of agricultural, veterinary and biological sciences. One of the main purpose of our school is to be a driving force for the the development of Basilicata region. So we offer our expertise also to local activities. In particular, I'm a part of the food science and technology research groups, and our activities are mainly focused on the development and optimization of food products, their sensory analysis, and on the recovery of valuable compounds from food byproducts and so on. When dealing with research activities, the timing and the cost of the research can be very different depending on whether you deal with big projects or you have to answer to the demand of local activities. So our team offers a solution in the field of shelf life prediction. Assessment of shelf life, chemical and sensory characterization of foods, and development of food with a high added value. So within this expertise, Oxitest by VELPscientifica helps us in our daily tasks. So in this presentation, I'm going to shortly explore some of the application of Oxitest in our lab. Let's start with some example on bakery products. A local producer provided us 4 different types of sweet and salty bakery products, and our aim was to evaluate their oxidative stability, both by Oxitest and sensory analysis, alongside with classical chemical analysis. The products were monitored for 1 year. As first results, I'm going to show you as first result, we saw that the oxidative stability can be very different between different products. Here, as an example, we see that biscuit were much more stable compared to other products such as crackers, for example, and this was mainly due to the ingredients employed in the recipes. For example, biscuits were made with palm oil, which is well known for its high stability to oxidation due to its composition with saturated fatty acid. Whereas in crackers, we had also olive oil that is less stable. We can see that from the EP value, that is the induction period value. The longer the EP value, the more stable the product is to the oxidation. When dealing with product with a high fat content and low moisture, the main reaction that limits the shelf life of a product is the oxidation of the fats. Oxitest, thanks to its management software, offers the possibility to predict the shelf life of a product. So thanks to this feature, we were able to give some suggestion to the producer about the shelf life of its product. Indeed, some products such as biscuit could have a longer shelf life than what reported on the package, whereas some others, such as crackers, should have a shelf life shorter, and this result was also confirmed by sensory studies. So here, as an example, I reported the spider plot relating to quantitative descriptive analysis, that is a sensory analysis technique relating to one of the product, and the different colored lines represent the characteristic of the product at different time interval made at 4 months each. So we can see that some attributes change during time. In particular, I want to highlight that oxidized aroma and flavor were significantly different during time. So what we found was interesting because there was a correlation between induction period and oxidized flavor and aroma. However, with this study, we also highlighted how important it is, the importance of sensory studies in the definition of shelf life of a product. So now let's see another example. Now I'm going to talk about croutons of bread with olive oil. There was a local bakery interested in the extension of the shelf life of the product. And so thanks to Oxitest, we made a first screening in order to frame the problem and try to offer a rapid solution to the producer. Croutons of bread are roasted pieces of bread covered with extra virgin olive oil. The producer adopted two techniques in order to do them. He added the oil before roasting or after roasting. In both cases, the product was packaged in transparent plastic trays. In this graph, we see the predicted shelf life by Oxitest of the product with oil added after cooking and before cooking. We can see that when the oil was added before cooking, the shelf life was much shorter compared to the other product. What happens during the roasting? The oil is stressed, so it becomes more sensitive to the oxidation. So thanks to this application, we were able to give concrete suggestions to the producer in order to extend the shelf life of his product. So it should be add the oil after roasting. The packaging should be improved by using maybe modified atmosphere in order to exclude oxygen from the package, and also by using a film that protects the product from the light. Moreover, thanks to some analysis we made on oil batches they provided us, they should rely on suppliers more able to guarantee standard raw material during time, and they should assure a proper storage of the oil in the warehouse. Now I'm going to show you an example on biscuits. As part of an industrial PhD project, we made 4 formulations of gluten-free biscuits based on buckwheat, sorghum, and lentil flour. And in order to reduce the glycemic index, we added resistant starch, and we replaced it totally or partially the sucrose with inulin or maltitol. And we studied the oxidation of this biscuit thanks to Oxitest. In the graph, we see the induction period of the fourth formulation of the biscuit, and I also reported the amount of sugars added to the recipe. I want to add that the fat content of each formulation was always the same, and the type of fat was always the same. We used high oleic sunflower oil. So it is interesting to see that EP decreased for increasing percentages of sucrose replacement. However, this data needs further insights and a wider number of samples in order to understand the phenomena to confirm and understand the phenomena behind these results. Now, let's leave aside bakery product, and I'm going to show you an application of Oxitest on novel foods. In particular, I'm talking about chia seeds. Chia seeds are derived from Salvia hispanica, a typical crop of Central America, and they are well known for their richness in good fats and for their nutraceutical compounds. They've been added in the European list of novel foods since 2009. They were object of a study that involved agronomists and food technologists, and within the project, the Oxitest was used to evaluate the oxidative stability of the product and of chia seeds grown in Basilicata and comparing them with that of chia seeds grown in a typical growing area. What we saw is that commercial seeds grown in Peru had a longer shelf life compared to the seeds grown in Basilicata. What we were able to see is that seeds grown in Basilicata had higher peroxide value compared to commercial seeds from Peru. So this shorter shelf life could be due to that. Now, as last example, I'm going to show you a result relating to the use of Oxitest on extra virgin olive oil. A chemical characterization and evaluation by Oxitest was made on different extra virgin olive oils from Garda area in North Italy and some oils from Basilicata region. In both cases, we saw that the polyphenol content was strongly related to the induction period of the product. So there was a positive correlation between total phenolic content and EP values, and also with alpha tocopherol content. All in all, oils from Garda were most stable compared to oils from Basilicata due to their difference in fatty acid composition. So this data actually confirmed the fact that the presence of antioxidant compounds such as polyphenols helps to prevent the oxidation of a product. So here I reported some picture of the use of Oxitest in our lab. This is a very useful instrument. One of its main advantage is the fact that you can analyze the sample without any preliminary treatment. It is a very easy to use tool and allows to evaluate the oxidative stability of the whole product. So considering all the interaction between the ingredients. And thanks to that, you can also use it beside doing shelf life tests, also to explore correlation between components of the food and its stability. So this was my our experience of the Oxitest in Food Science and Technology Lab at University of Basilicata. Thank you for the attention.
Thank you, Maria, for your interesting presentation. I'd like to further discuss a couple of topics with you. So, first of all, oxidative stability of bakery products by Oxitest and sensory analysis. Your results show that it is critical to perform dedicated analysis to predict the correct shelf life. I'd like to explore your point of view about this. Would you suggest to every producer to do so, or is the estimation in some cases just enough?
Okay, thank you for the question, Daniela. This is actually a hard question to answer because In some cases, the estimation with Oxitest could be enough, but in my personal opinion, I think that you should know very well which is the development of the product during the storage, because, for example, there could be changes in the texture that would impair your sensory properties. So maybe from oxidation point of view, you are okay. I don't know, you don't perceive the oxidized aroma or flavor, but you have a product that won't be appreciated by consumer because big change in texture or other of aroma of odor developed during storage. So I think that if you know well which is your product and how it evolves during shelf life, it's okay to use only the estimation of the Oxitest. Otherwise, it will be very important to have also a sensory study paired to Oxitest study. I also take this occasion to say that often sensory analysis, all above from small producers, is neglected because it costs money and they don't see how much it can be useful. But a big producer probably would go if he goes for sensory analysis in order to explore the oxidative stability and do a proper shelf life prediction would be better.
Thank you, Maria, for your answer. Extremely interesting again. And one question more. Is there any correlation or interesting evidence you identified by testing the same exact sample with the Oxitest and with a traditional technique?
If we want to talk about analytical parameters made with classical analysis in lab, there are no always correlation with parameters, but as I said earlier, in sometimes peroxide value, there is a correlation with the Oxitest, and in other occasions, there are correlation mostly with phenolic compounds. If we have to talk about acidity or other parameters such as delta kappa, there are not always relationship, but some trends have been found. Also, some other authors reported some correlation with peroxide value.
And thank you, Maria. One last question for you. How has the Oxitest changed the analysis and operation in your laboratories? Which features of the Oxitest would you say are the most important ones, or especially the ones that you prefer in terms of usability, of course?
Okay, so if I have to answer personally, I like the fact that you don't have to preliminary extract the fat from the product, which is sometimes is very annoying. So you just put your sample in the Oxitest and you go with the analysis. So this is a very useful feature, I think. Moreover, when we use it in our lab, we find that it is a very simple instrument to use. Indeed, also when we have trainees or students, postmaster and bachelor students, with a quick training, they are able to use the instrument. So it's very, I can say it's user-friendly, both from the software point of view, but also from the hardware point of view. So it allows us to do rapid screening of samples, and maybe then we can decide also to go with other analysis in chemical lab, or with just sometimes results from Oxitest can be enough for what we were looking for.
Thank you, Maria, for your participation. Extremely interesting insights and presentation. And thank you, everyone, for watching. You can find further information and content on our website, and of course all the contacts, so we are here to support you. Thank you. Bye-bye from the VELP Lab.